Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're making a sliding knot bar bracelet. It has the two sliding knots, one on each side of the bar, so you can slide these along to adjust the size of your bracelet. You can also put other things in the center of this design if you've got something that has a hole on each end. For our design here, I've got a little aluminium plate or tag here with a hole on each end. For the cording, you could use a shoelace, or I'm using 60 centimeters of 4mm paracord. Now we start by placing our cord up through one of the holes on our bar. So bringing this end around, we want a little bit of length on this top cord, but we still keep this top cord shorter than the bottom one. Now, holding onto the metal bar and the cords in our left hand, we're going to bring this top cord down the front and around the other cord to form our first loop here. Now, working towards the left, we bring the end over the front, down and around the other cord again for a second loop. And then again for a third loop as well. You can do just 2 loops if you only have enough cord for 2, but I've got my 3 loops here and then our tail end piece. So we gently bend this tail end piece around and place it down all 3 loops, pulling it out the right hand side and pulling that knot down nice and tight and tidy. So that should be your first sliding knot that should slide along the other cord. So you can just check that it slides okay. Now we can bring this longer end of cord around and bring it up through the other hole on the bar. So bringing that end around and then holding the bracelet in our left hand, we want a little bit of length on this top cord. So I'll just show you, mine is about 15 centimeters long, and that's on that point there where I'm going to start my loops. Now we bring this cord over the front, down and around that other cord to form our first loop here. And again to the left, over the front, down and around that other cord for our second loop, and again for a third loop as well. If you did do 2 loops on the first side, then do 2 loops on this side as well. So gently holding our loops here, we're going to bend this tail end piece around and place it down all 3 loops. Pulling it out the right hand side and then gently pulling our knot down nice and tight and tidy. Once those sliding knots are nice and tight, we want to just check over our whole bracelet, making sure that those knots slide along the cord okay, and checking the sizing of your bracelet, so making sure you can extend that bracelet big enough that it can fit over your hand onto your wrist. So this design can vary depending on where you want those sliding knots sitting when your bracelet's in the final position. So you can always untie and retie your knots so that you have bigger or smaller loops on the sides of the bar. Once you're happy with it, you can cut these tails off just outside the knots and singe them with a lighter so they don't fray. So there's your simple sliding knot bracelet with a bar or charm in the center.